and the Jets.
He didn't want to be left out, so I put him in.
Leah says, Kathy, you are so creative.
Oh, thank you, Leah. That's very kind of you. But it's all fun.
It's all fun. So that is the jewelry portion of this evening. I wanted to kind of give you a little warm-up with that. Now, we're going to have an honest conversation about something that happened on Instagram today. It's really funny doing these live videos because I really feel as though I kind of have to do these press releases when I kind of go into the social media aspect of Instagram. For those of you who know or don't know, I kind of have there's this group of people on Instagram who sort of have negative feelings towards me. They're a group of other sellers. I think that's really fair to say based on some of the things that they've said about me. And today, one of them, Estate Jewelry Mama, posted something in her story, which was a snapshot of a piece from my Ruby Lane shop. And I'm going to show you it right now. I'm going to show it to you on Kathy's phone so that you can see what she said about it. And the thing is that when somebody posts something like this about a piece that you have in your shop or whatever, there's a lot of different ways that you can react. I'm going to show you the post first. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to kind of play this double thing. So it says, 18th is crossed out, Century Georgian is crossed out, carved coral, 9-carat gold lover's eye brooch, circa 1780, not Georgian lover's eye, buyer beware, ask a trusted antique jewelry professional if you ever have questions. Okay, so this is what this post said. This is a snapshot from my Ruby Lane shop. And this is something that kind of caught me by surprise. I really did not expect to see something like this today. And I was like, okay, I need to research this lover's eye that I sold. I purchased this piece in May. I purchased this piece in May when I was in London the first time buying antique jewelry. And I sold it the minute it went up on Ruby Lane for $1,600. Many of you probably saw. I sold it for that amount. And I researched it, and it turns out that the brooch is authentic, but the miniature is not. She's absolutely right. The miniature is not an authentic Georgian lover's eye. So I just wrote an email to the client who purchased this piece, and I offered her an absolute full return. She is more than welcome to return this piece to me, and if she wants to keep it, we're going to work it out. However she wants to do it, this is on me. I didn't know when I purchased it that this was not an authentic lover's eye, though it is an authentic Georgian brooch. I really strive for total and utter transparency. I will make it right with you if you purchase something from me and it turns out to not be what you bought it as. I promise you an open and complete discussion. I am so glad that even though Estate Jewelry Mama posted this very nefariously for other people to see and say, buyer beware, ask a trusted jewelry professional, I want you to know that I can be trusted because I'm going to make it right with you if there's ever any problem that you have. I hate the idea of a jewelry expert. The truth is, you can spend your life researching. Like I've spent the last 5 years of my life researching Baroque art, which is what I got my specialty in my college degree, and I'm going for my master's in 18th and 19th century decorative arts. You can study for your entire lifetime, and you can become an expert in your field. But none of us lived in the Georgian period, and none of us know 1,000,000% for sure what every piece is. And when I purchased and sold this piece, I was just starting to get into antique Georgian jewelry. I was just beginning to really know and learn the field. And I own this. This is a mistake that I made. I'm happy to tell you. I'm telling you live. Usually 900 people watch my live videos. I would be just as comfortable posting a statement about this, and I might still in my main page, which 26,000 people will see. And it's very, very important for me that you know that you can have this dialogue with me. It makes me sad that there are people out there who would rather post something like this in their personal story than come to me and have an actual conversation with me about my jewelry or something that they see in my shop. And if you want to have a conversation with me about any piece that I have, I welcome it because I want to learn. I'm constantly reading, I'm learning, I'm researching. I have learned more in a year than I think most people absorb in 10 years. I truly have. I've handled over 700 pieces this year. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've handled every single one of them, examined every single one with a loop. I know so much more now. I know way more right now than I did when I sold this piece. That doesn't excuse it. I'm not saying that, you know, that what I did was right, but I'm also not saying that what I did was wrong, because I made a mistake, and people do that. And I mean,
people in the art world can't really even identify paintings by Caravaggio.
Right, this is an ongoing thing. I have this theory about 2 of the Caravaggio paintings that the Met has in their collection.
Experts are still arguing about whether it's real or not.
Right,
so
and I have
even known experts are
still in dispute about these things.
Yeah.
But I recognize that this eye is probably not original, even though the brooch is. And I made it as clear as I possibly could to the person who purchased it. And I just wrote her a letter and reached out to her. And however she wants to go forward, I'm happy to do it. So what I really want to get down to in this, and the reason why you're looking at me on a pure black background and, you know, just my face and just me talking tonight, is I want to ask you, I really, really do. I want to ask you, and this is not in any weird way, I'm just really curious. Would you, my clients and my buyers, who I work so hard for and who I really, really want to do the best by that I possibly can, would you rather purchase from somebody who's willing to own up to a mistake? Or would you rather purchase from someone who would rather post something like this in their story and not actually contact the person who sold the piece? That's my question to you all tonight. Please let me know, and please let me know your thoughts. Because the number one thing that is more important to me than anything else in this business and doing what I do for a living is that you are happy. Because yes, exactly, Erica, I need to own my mistakes, and when we make them, we have to be clear about them and we have to make them right. So I feel that what I did tonight is I tried to make it right. And I will never, ever let someone say that I nefariously cheated someone, because I would never do that. I would never knowingly sell a fake. Never. And I will continue making videos on this topic. I will continue doing posts on this topic, because...
And that's exactly how we run the doll business.
It's how we've run our doll business since before I was born. Yeah. You know, we would never hide a piece of diamond. You would never do anything like that. So this is now, I open the floor to you. For those of you who've been here from the beginning of this monologue, for those of you who are just joining us, I hope that you will rewatch it from the beginning, because my single and only endeavor in this is to unite people with the jewelry that they're going to love for the rest of their lives. And I will try my very best to give you all of the knowledge that I can possibly squeeze out of the world on the pieces that you buy from me. And if you're ever not happy, or if you ever have a question, I am a text message away. I am a phone call away. So many of my clients who have purchased with me repeatedly or who have purchased large pieces have my phone number. You can call me. I'm here to talk to you. I'm here to work with you. I'm here to learn with you. If you have an awesome article on jewelry that you want to just send to me for fun, I will read it and I will thank you, because that's awesome. I'm all about learning. And for those people who want to call me out and, in a cowardly way, in a strange, like, passive-aggressive public forum, I'm not here for that. Come to me with your concerns. I only hope that if you had a doubt about anything that you saw in my page or in someone else's, that you just contact the person directly and say, hey, I saw this. It kind of looks like this other thing that I saw that I know is a repro. What do you think? What's your opinion? That's how we learn. There is a circle here on Instagram of people who actually have a page where they put up pieces. The whole point of the page is that they make a list and they show each other pieces that are possibly repros or that they have questions about. And that is such an awesome idea. And I think that it's such a great community resource to have when you have like 25 dealers who handle tons and tons of stuff, kind of do like this group chat about all of these different pieces that they post pictures of. I would love to be included in that. But I was not included in that. And I believe that the only thing that I can really do going forward is to make my own group chat about it. Seeing that I've been kind of excluded from one that already exists that want to actually make commentary on my pieces and that have posted a lot of the pieces that I've sold and said, oh, these are fakes. Some of which I have agreed with and said, oh, you know what, these are repros, and 3 of which are absolutely not. And I went through all of Europe and had multiple confirmations and authentications of them done. So, and you can also tell really very little from a picture of a piece. Like, you have to hold it in your hand. In fact, my mother is an appraiser on the Antiques Roadshow. She's appraised antique dolls on the Antiques Roadshow. And something that is in the fine print of all of our shops across the board is that we will not make a by photo evaluation of any piece that you send us, because we truly can't. We can say, oh, you know what? The photos indicate to us that this is probably a reproduction, but we can't guarantee it because we can't, we haven't held it in our hands. And that is how every professional I've contacted Sotheby's. In fact, I have an appointment to go to Sotheby's so that they can look at a diamond and emerald necklace that I have. And they have agreed to absolutely answer all of my questions about the authentication process because I want to learn about it. And I'm really actually super excited that I have a piece that's being optioned by Sotheby's. Like, oh my God, I'm beyond honored. So these are all kind of like parts of a larger puzzle. And if there's anyone in this audience tonight who's watching this, who would be interested in joining a group with me like that, I'm going to put together a group chat where we look at pieces. We look at pictures of pieces and we say, hey, I think this one is real because, or hey, this one gives me questions because X, Y, and Z. Or hey, let's talk about this piece because I'm confused. And that is where we learn. That's where the beauty of social media comes in. We can now say, by the rule of the people, by the crowdsourcing, by the collective consciousness, we can say, I think this piece is such and such. I think this piece is such and such. I think that, exactly. Oh my goodness. Karen Curiosity, I love you, by the way. I love your page. Like, it's always such a pleasure to see. It would be such a useful resource for those of us who are beginning. I told you, I'm a year in. And I have, in fact, the piece that you bought from me has been one of the ones that I have researched most thoroughly, and I'm absolutely certain of its authenticity. And I feel that there are pieces that we have to have these open discussions about because we can't know. We weren't there. None of us were alive 250 years ago. If there's somebody who is, vampires, please, I'm ready. Take me. But, it's really one of those situations where as a group, as a full community, we owe it to each other to learn together. That's what I'm here for. I will never have it said that I swindled, cheated, or misrepresented. And I know that the dealers who are watching in this crowd tonight, my dealer friends, my friends who just sell pieces out of their collections, you would never want that on your name. I would never want it on mine. I will do everything. I will I will make the monetary sacrifices that need to be made to keep my name clear.
But that's not who you are. You would never do that.
It's a moral question. So I pose to you this question again. Do you want to buy from somebody who's willing to own that they made a mistake, or somebody who wants to passive-aggressively tear down other successful people? I don't need you to answer it here. I don't need you to answer it publicly. I don't need you to answer it in my inbox. I just need you to DM me if you want in on an open conversation and an open dialogue about pieces and where they come from and how they got here and any questions, so that we can crowdsource together. Because if there's a closed door committee that wants to judge us, or that wants to judge pieces and not actually contact the dealers that they're judging the pieces from so that they can learn, I don't think that has any bearing on the market, and it is not helpful, and it's not going to help people move forward, because we're all learning and we're all growing. Maybe one day I will feel that I can say I don't think I'll ever be able to say I am an absolute expert on Georgian jewelry, because we can all learn. Repros can always get better. Techniques for copying antique pieces can always get better. We have to be constantly evolving. We have to be evolving on a dime. We have to be on top of it. We have to be so insanely there. And that is one of those things that we really can do as a group that none of us can really fully grasp as individuals. So here's my invitation. Here's my hand. Come with me. Join me. Let's learn together. Let's not be divided. Thank you all so much. Thank you for being here.